Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
The pickup truck. From the dawn of time, it was used as a work truck. It was something you had on the farm and you beat it up. Well, these days, trucks like this Denali cost $80,000 and more. So you don't want to abuse these things, and you want it to look great. This is something you're taking out on a Saturday night, Steve, and people want to stand out from the crowd. So how is SICK Diesel Products making things for these trucks that they're going to make them stand out?
Right. So SICK Diesel Products allows you to personalize your truck with easy to install accessories in your own garage. So you don't have to pay a custom builder to do these things to your truck.
And what kind of accessories are we talking?
So we're basically talking about lighting accessories at this point. We've got grill lights, fender well lights, clearance lights. We have all these new products coming to market. And it's not about reinventing the wheel, but making the wheel better.
Prime example, the ghost light on this Denali. It's just a little thing, but it really sets it apart. What was it like to install something like that?
A light like this takes about 7 minutes to install. Comes with a dimmer and a plug-and-play harness that it connects to the DRL. So when your DRLs illuminate, the grill light illuminates as well.
DRL being daytime running lights.
Daytime running lights, yes.
Very good. There are other options out there in the industry. How is this different from what I can see out there in the market?
There is. There's other options, not particularly for this vehicle, but there are some that companies are making, but they make it to where you got to buy the grill and the light all in one assembly. With ours, you can remove them and install them to other grills, so if you have a damaged grill or if you sold your vehicle and purchased another one, you can just simply take your light bar out and install it in your new truck.
And how many different makes and models do you cover?
About 36.
And growing all the time.
And growing all the time.
And what kind of feedback do you get from folks who might want a special application or something like that?
So if somebody does have a special application, something that we've never seen before, a lot of times we'll just work with that customer, get measurements from them, and work together as a team and make it happen.
Your lights are affordable, but they're not cheap. They're not made poorly. They're made
Correct.
really well. What do you do to make sure we're getting a quality product from SICK Diesel here?
These lights go through an extensive testing program, and they are in anodized aluminum frames. They're built and manufactured in Sarasota, Florida.
Lights from SICK Diesel really fit the look of the vehicle. How important is it for you to sort of honor the look of the original truck and to make sure it fits in and doesn't look like something that's standing out like a sore thumb?
It's very important. I have a custom Super Duty, and that's what started this whole thing. I wanted that Super Duty to look OEM manufactured with that factory grill and not an aftermarket grill. So the only way to do it was to incorporate the lights but make them look OEM manufactured. Mostly
in the past, you see someone's done a home job, it looks super sloppy because they've rigged something, or they take it to a pro and they've spent tons of money on it. So how have you solved that problem? We've been solved that problem by making this to where it's an easy application for the customers and good instructions so that they can literally do it in their own garage. You installed this ghost light on this Denali in just a few minutes. What were the steps that it took? So the first step was adding the plug-and-play harness, where you simply unplug the headlight, plug in the plug-and-play harness, and plug it back together. That plug-and-play harness feeds the power to the grill light. We clean the grill, and the grill light on this truck has an industrial strength 3M tape on the backside of it. So we align the light, pre-fit it, test it, and then stick it on, and that's it. And there's a couple options for this particular vehicle. You also have this smoked look to it as well, if that's what someone prefers, which is a really great look. And for different trucks here, you brought in a couple different pieces as well. What do we have here? So this is a 2020 and lower Denali light, and it has a sequential automated startup pattern. Very cool. And this is 17 through 19 Super Duty light. This is the top seller. And then these are a new product, which is the inner fender well lights, which are universal fit. And that sure beats the old get an LED strip and try to get up in. So like I said, it's not reinventing the wheel, but it's giving people options and making the wheel better. And a lot of that is, rock lights have been in the industry for years and years, but giving people options to where they can do something different and look different than the rest, that's what we do. You guys put a ton of thought into the design and the build on these lights. We know we're getting a quality product, but what if there is a problem with it? I tell you what, Dave, we stand behind our lights no matter what happens. If a customer calls us 2 or 3 years later and they have a bulb go out, we always stand behind it, because I'd rather them be riding around with our products than to talk about us or be unhappy. SICK Diesel Gear is a family-run company. Everything is designed and built in the United States. These products are great, and they're going to make your truck look great as well. You can find them at sickdieselgear.com. And you can find more great products for your vehicle when we come back to Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Do not go anywhere.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, is brought to you by Campbell's Custom Care, your detail specialist, Goose Grip, innovative lights, AMSOIL, the first in synthetics, and by DragonFireTools.com, industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage.
You are cruising along with Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Let me tell you a story. About 10 years ago, I bought a used pickup truck and it had a hard tonneau cover on it. And every time I needed to get something out of the vehicle, invariably it had slid all the way up to the cab, and this is what I had to do. This is my routine. Every time I get to the house or I get to the airport, I'm doing that. And I end up with messy clothes, and I end up sweaty, and I hated it. Guess what? There is help. How can you rescue me, Jeff? Please help me with this situation.
Well, listen, we've all done that. It's why we came up with the Bed Buddy. Bed Buddy is a very simple tool. It works really, really well, and it's just something that folks at home probably saying, I use a rake or I use a club or whatever like that. That's great. Bed Buddy is better than all of those. It's 20 inches when it's closed. It's very small, very compact. You can mount it in lots of different places, but it extends out to a full 5 feet when it's fully open. That'll get you all the way to the back of a standard size pickup truck.
And everybody's looking at this wondering how strong it is. Is this going to hold up to pulling heavy stuff out of the back of the truck?
Right, so there's a case in there you'll see in a minute. Those are about 40 pounds each. We stacked up 6 of those cases on a pallet. It's over 240 pounds, and pulled that out of the truck. It's very, very strong. It has a steel tip on it. It's a metal body. It's very, very durable, and it holds lots of weight. We haven't broken it yet.
What inspired the birth of the Bed Buddy?
Just like your situation, I was on a family trip out in Idaho, whole truck bed full of luggage, baskets, all that kind of stuff. The only difference was that I wasn't in a nice air-conditioned garage like you are. It was freezing cold outside, the truck was full of snow, and I had to climb on in there and get all that stuff out. I decided that I needed a product that was just at the ready, handy, when I needed it to get all that stuff out. But more importantly, I wanted something that was up and out of the way when I didn't need it. So I didn't have to go and get something. I didn't have to go and get something out of my cab or go get something out of my garage in order to get all that stuff out of my truck. I wanted it to be right where I needed it, when I needed it.
Thanks, Jeff. Well, Jeff said he wanted to have something at arm's reach when he needed it. How do you keep the Bed Buddy handy?
Well, when you first notice the Bed Buddy, you see that it's got 2 27-pound pull force magnets on each Bed Buddy. Each Bed Buddy comes with a mounting plate. That mounting plate is used specifically for trucks that have aluminum beds, heavy round bed liners, or plastic bed liners. Each one of these plates in the package comes with 3 self-drilling 3/4 inch screws. Takes about 60 seconds. You find a flat space vertically or a flat space horizontally in the truck or on the tailgate on the floor bed of the truck. And once you figure out where you want to put it, you drill in the screws, and from there you just attach the Bed Buddy, and it always stays right there.
And you made sure it was short enough to mount in a place like that?
Yes, we designed it to be 20 inches, so that way you can close your tonneau covers and you never have to worry about it hitting the tonneau cover.
Speaking of tonneau covers, I'm going to roll this one back so folks can see how the Bed Buddy actually works there. So obviously you have to extend it, and for long beds it works because it goes out to 5 feet, and that's about all you need.
Right, so most of the time you can open it up to the first 4 feet. More than likely that's going to get 90% of your equipment out. So you grab a box, you pull the box forward, move it out of the way, grab your suitcases when you're at the airport or coming home. Now, most of the time that's all you need. But sometimes you have something like a box that goes all the way to the cab of your truck, and you open it up an extra foot. Now you have 5 feet, and you take it and you can reach behind, you get to the back of that box, and then you pull that box forward.
And that, Dave, is why you don't want to hook. That's why you have the flat spade there at the end.
Correct. The flat spade will help you get in between the cab of your truck and in between the box to pull it out. Now, the other cool feature about this is we have all dropped screws or nails or bolts or washers in the back of our trucks.
And they rattle around there all day long?
They rattle around there all day long. You come home from work, you're exhausted, you don't feel like climbing your truck. Well, open up the Bed Buddy, turn around, use the magnets, and grab each one of those products.
Perfect. Same thing if you drop something under the truck as well. Bed Buddy makes things more convenient, but it can also save your body. It's a safety thing.
Yes, it definitely helps. What it helps with is climbing in and out of the back of your truck, whether it's a dry day, it's raining, it's wet, snow, ice, muddy from hunting or fishing, coming home, or being at the spot. It helps save you from having to climb in and out of your truck. It helps save your knees and saves your ankles. The other thing it helps saves you is when you get in the back of your truck to climb in to get something, you have to use your back. You have to bend over, use your back, grab it, and pull it forward. With this, you no longer have to do that.
No more crawling up on the tire to reach in over the bed. No more crawling into the bed under your tonneau cover. The Bed Buddy is going to change your life if you're a truck owner. You can find it at bedbuddy.com. BuddiBed.com. By the way, if you have a shop and want to become a reseller for Bed Buddy, send them a note, info@bedbuddy.com. And you can find more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, coming to you from the Campbell's Custom Care Studio.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. Tires, ultra important, of course, and they never seem to last as long as you want them to. Preston, what's the chief problem that makes tires wear out so fast?
Your number one problem is you're in balance, out of balance. When your tires are out of balance and your wheels are out of balance, your whole assembly's out of balance. When your whole assembly's out of balance, it's making your tires run hotter than they should. And when they run hotter than they should, your tires are wearing wrong, they're losing tire life, and there's multiple other things. Your brake drums are out of balance. That's when the axle's out of balance, it's causing your wheels and tires to be out of balance. And when that happens, it's costing you money and more money and more money.
And it's also creating a lot of friction.
It's creating friction. It's creating the bad tire wear is creating cupping. And when cupping starts, you can stop it, but it's going to continue if you don't try and stop it, and it's just going to cost you more money.
And also affects your gas mileage too.
Absolutely, absolutely. When the tires are running hot and the assembly's shaking how it should, you're losing money on fuel. Not just tires, but you're losing money on fuel too. You're having to replace chassis components when you don't want to. You're spending more money on it. And it all boils down to is the tires being out of balance.
So how have you guys at Centramatic solved the problem?
So we have come up with a product using centrifugal force. We've got what we put in the ring here itself. We've got our balancer here.
So this is just an oil that goes in the ring,
yes,
along with some metal shot.
You got the oil with steel shot. It's synthetic oil, steel shot, goes in the ring. Use a centrifugal force as you're driving down the road. You just mount these on your hub. You put your wheel back on the fronts. On the rears, you take the outside dual off, put your balancer on, you put your outside dual back on. As you're driving down the road, you're using centrifugal force. They kick in at about 35. You have centrifugal force that counterreaction, and it's running your tires 8 to 10 degrees cooler. I'm going to guarantee you 25 to 30% increase in tire life, up to 50%. And it's going to also balance all your chassis components, your axles, your brake drums. It's going to balance everything that we were just talking about, causing issues, costing you money. Our balancer is a simple solution to it. It's going to save you money in those aspects. All it is a one-time investment. After that one-time investment, the next time you go to buy tires, you're profitable from there on out. You're not actually making money, but you're saving money. So I'd say you're profitable in that aspect.
You've got a great demo.
Absolutely,
here, yeah?
absolutely, yes, sir.
So that's it represents your tire there, your wheel.
This is going to be an out of balance. I'm not going to show you all that yet, but we're going to say this is your wheel and tire right here. Okay. And I'm going to set it right here so you can really get an aspect. You can see it running. You've got a little shake, nothing crazy, not a bad out of balance. We're going to say this is your imbalance right here. This is a tire stuck in there. This is some mud. This is a chunk missing out of your tire. You know, just something that's out of balance, making your tire out of balance. And you're going to see, you can watch this drill shake on the table. You can hear it. I mean, it's shaking everything. Sure. So we're going to say this is your balancer. Ball bearings and liquid. This isn't what's actually in our product. As I've said, this is what's in our product. This is just for demonstration. Same aspect. You're going to put it on, just like mounting it. And you can see, once it gets up to a certain speed, it's just like smooth. There it is, increasing your tire life, saving you money, running your tires cooler. Everything that we've talked about, it's doing it firsthand. You can see it right here. Anyone who's watching can see that once I put this on, it's not shaking the table to death. I take it off, the table's going to steer and rattle. We can rattle these balancers off the main table.
And by nature, once you put a Centramatic balancer on, how does it adapt? You know, maybe you pick up a big rock or a chunk falls off your tire or something like that.
So a lot of times you have people call and they have wheel weights on there. I tell them, you can take them off, you can leave them on, because guess what? Once we put our balancer on, if you chip a weight, that's why it's dynamic wheel balancing. You chip a weight, it doesn't matter. We're still balancing it. Whether you lose all your weights or you lose one, it's going to make up for it in one way or another.
So what kind of vehicles can I use these on?
3/4 tons and up on vehicles. We can fit all your motorhomes. We can fit majority of your motorcycles. We make them for motorcycles. That little shake that they have in the front end, we can take care of that for you. Trailers, all trailers. 99% of trailers we're going to fit.
Now, how much more mileage am I going to get out of my tires with these?
So on your steer axles, we're going to tell you your average steer, and this one goes on your steer axle. Your average steer, we're going to say you get 70,000 miles. Once customers put them on, I'm going to guarantee you we're going to get you 100,000 miles. If you get an average of 70,000 miles out of your tires, I'm going to guarantee you 100,000 miles on your. Once you put those on and you put a new set on, I'm guaranteeing you 100,000 miles on your next set.
Your tires are going to last a whole lot longer. You're going to save a lot of fuel, and you're going to save a ton of money. Go to Centramatic.com, get a set of these. You are not going to regret it. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com Keep it locked here.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. And brought to you by PaintedAutoBodyParts.com, the leading U.S. auto body parts online store. Shock Therapy, ride your way. And by Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977.
We are trucking along here at Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. And just take a look at this great looking Ford Raptor we have here in the studio. Fantastic looking truck. Well, do me a favor, close your eyes. All right, now open them. What a pop of color. Just that little detail right there, the color on the tow hooks. And John, up until now, if you wanted to take your OEM tow hooks and put color on them, what would you have to go through?
You'd either have to paint them or powder coat them.
And you're talking big time expense, lots of money, lots of time. But you've come up with a solution at TowKz.
Yeah, our TowKz solved the problem. Without any labor, you can just pop these on in about 20 seconds and it changes the front end of your truck.
Well, how do they work?
Each TowKz has a channel underneath that's patented, and the only way you can get a rubber tube on a closed hook, and they just pop right over.
Obviously, they're easy to put on. Are they durable? How long are they going to last?
You know, I've ordered a lot of truck products for my own truck. Sometimes disappointed with durability and fading, so it was very important to us. We made them highest quality silicone rubber. The integrity stays, they adhere to the hook, and they're fade resistant. We put a lot of UV protection within each hook.
And you're out in California, so you've had plenty of UV testing done on these things.
Yes, we've thrown them on the roofs and they're fade resistant.
And how many different colors do you make?
We're up to 7 colors. We have red, white, blue, amber, pink, and newest colors are neon green and yellow. A lot of requests for those. And
the ambers are very cool on this truck. We did it earlier and we had the lights on. It really looked fantastic. Now, how many different makes and models are we covering here for the OEM hooks?
Well, as a new company, we start off with the trucks that are most sold. Those are the half tons. So you got the F-150s, the Toyota Tundras, the Dodge Ram 1500s, the Chevy Silverados, and the TRXs, and the Raptors. Been great in that community. They love the pop the color gives on their truck, and just a simple way to change things up on the front end.
And another thing that really jumps out on the box here, made in the United States of America, how important is that to you?
From the get-go, we wanted to find our manufacturers, we wanted to make sure it was shipped, everything's designed, everything's done USA.
I've looked all over social media and I see you guys everywhere, people reviewing it and they love the product. What are some of the things you're hearing?
Yeah, social media has been kind to us. We've had a lot of great comments, best idea ever. Email I got from a customer the other day, 3 words, I love them. That was it. So it was very nice. And just the whole Raptor community and TRX community, especially because the TowKz fit on both the front end and the back end of those trucks, and they have 4 clear round. It's been great in that community. They've been wonderful.
Well, you're gonna love the price, you're gonna love the ease of installation, and you're gonna love the way they look on your truck. You can find the TowKz at hookproductsusa.com.
Nothing worse than ruining a good day out on the pontoon boat with a motor failure. Welcome to this AMSOIL Tech Tip. We're talking about boat motors and service. And when you do that, well, it's all about the 4-stroke cycle on this one. It's just like a car. Matter of fact, you can see the internals all here. You got the crankshaft, bearings, everything going on. But Len, there's a lot more going on because it's sitting on the water, and I know engines, when you shut an engine down, the camshaft position, one of those valves is going to be open. It's inevitable.
Correct. You can't avoid it. One of those valves is going to be open, and when it's open, the exhaust on these are wet. So you've got wet exhaust, you've got harsh environment, meaning it's damp. So you have to figure that in when you're building the oil. People like to use off-the-shelf passenger car motor oil in these outboards, and it's a bad idea for that reason. Okay, harsh environment, very wet, very damp. We build in extra rust and corrosion protection right into the product so that you don't have to worry about it when the boat is sitting and you're not around. You got to go to work, the boat sits by the dock, you're protected.
Yeah, you don't leave your car in the water all day, so that's fine. But when it gets to a boat, that's a whole different ball game. And we'll talk about the certification here in a minute. But another thing, these things also run rich, and there's a term called blow-by in the industry. You get some of that stuff going down in the oil. We're not getting normal stuff going down in the oil. We're getting that environment down in the oil. That's a problem too.
That's correct. These love to what we call fuel dilute. So when they're running slow, you're putting around the lake, it's not really getting that warm. So we formulate the product to have a very robust backbone, so the base oils are very, very strong, so they can take the fuel dilution and still provide protection.
Now there's a label on here. These oils are not created equal, and this is the most impressive thing. Tell me about that, the certification.
Yeah, we actually do certify all of these products. So these are all NMMA, FCW, Catalyst compatible products. So all the latest and greatest specs, they are licensed.
So you heard it from the pro here. Make sure when you go to get oil, you put the right oil in. Go to amsoil.com for your oil needs and so much more.
Ron Harkleroad was nominated by his buddy Scott to be our Motorhead of the Week. Ron is a native of Bristol, Tennessee, and I tell you, he is a certified car nut. It all started over 50 years ago. Ron helped his brother with a roofing job, and in return, his brother gave him the shell of a '66 Chevy 2. Ron restored that, and he says he was over the moon when he got $39,000 for it. But get this, the person who bought it from Ron sold it at Barrett Jackson for $125,000. That speaks volumes for Ron's work. Now, Ron's done over a dozen cars in the last 50 years, and he says he does everything except for the paint and the interior. And he has 4 projects in the shop right now, including a 49 Ford that makes 500 horsepower and a 33 Plymouth he built for his wife. Now, if you want to be Motorhead of the Week, all you have to do is go to our website. Super easy. Just click on the link and send us a note. That is going to do it for this episode of Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. We're going to do it again next week, though, so we hope you join us then. See ya.